welcome back to the channel. So I'm starting on doing some siding, and I'm kind of excited because I acquired some metal, roofing metal, a couple years ago, and I've had it stored, and I just went and checked it, and it's a light gray in color. They're 18 feet long, so I can cut this down to my 5-foot length, and I believe I still have enough to do the entire roof in this color. So that's going to save a ton of money right there. I still have to get the corner caps that'll go around the corners, and then the drip edge that goes on the top of it on the side. It's kind of like a Z metal made for the siding, and then we'll get it put up. So I'm going to get to cutting. So it's nice having this leftover metal. The only bad thing about it is the holes don't line up. Oh well, it's okay. So what I'm doing is just, because I got dark gray screws, I'm just temporarily putting in some stuff to hold it here. Until I get the right color. But this will at least keep the tie back on this portion of the cabin. So I'm getting ready to lay out the rafters and everything, but I got to get the runner to come out over the deck. I did the other side. An 8-foot is just a little bit too short, so, and I just got a 4x4 that I rough cut to go across the top. So I'm adding another, like a top plate on top of that. So it'll be actually a 4x6. Put it in, it's level over there. This is straight up and down. I'll run this one across, and then I've got a foot overhang here, and I'm going to have a foot overhang on the back. So overall length will be 18 feet for the roof. But I've got to get this one in, then I got to measure up 32 inches, because it's a 412. Since it's 16 feet wide, that's 8 feet. 8 times 4 is 32, so I'm going to get 32 inches to the peak. Once I get I bought some 2x8s because I'm out of timber to mill rough cut, so I just bought some Doug Fir 2x8s to use as a ridge beam. The rafters will just nail and screw into it, not sit on top of it, but they'll just nail and screw into it. And where I'm at. Working on it slowly. It's kind of miserable today. It's up to 70, but the mosquitoes are atrocious. I've covered myself with DEET, so they're leaving me kind of alone. But if it's not raining, it's hot and mosquito-y. And for Alaska, 70 is hot for me. So let's get on with it. So I put the ridge beam up most of the way last night. I got to put this post up right here. I'm going to do that this morning, get it put in place so everything's locked in up there. And then I got to thinking, I'm going to put my deck down first. The reason is I can put my ladder on it then, and two, I'm over 1.5 miles away from the nearest paved road, or the nearest good road, and I want to try and stay as safe as possible. If I fall out here, it might be a while before I get any help. So that's why I'm going slow, taking it easy. But this should knock out pretty quick. I've got most of the boards cut for it. I cut them last winter, and so they're all dried and seasoned. I'll put them down, and then I'll start laying out the rafters. I've got them, most of them stacked down here already to measure out and cut, so we'll get on that soon. Okay, I have that post screwed in and set. I know some of you are saying, well, it's going to wiggle and wobble. I'm going to run both sides underneath that 4x4 all the way across to this side, two 16-foot 2x4s, just to keep them locked in solid. I got to get the lumber for that. I don't have any 16-foot, true 16-foot stuff cut yet, but that's going to go in there, so that'll actually lock it so they don't go back and forth, and go from there. But now I'm going to start on the deck, get this deck done, because I don't like walking over this open stuff. Well, I don't think that looks too bad. Yeah, there's some unevenness, but that's, you know, it's rough cut lumber. And I've put stuff like that down on steps before, and after walking on it a while, it kind of levels out. Is this all get treated like I did the underneath? So tonight, before I go to bed, I will put a coat on it so it soaks overnight. I'm a few boards shy. Got a couple here, but they're so boogered up I can't use them. And so I need to come up with some more 1x6 to put down. I have to go dig through my pile and see what I can find. But there it is. Now I'm going to get started on cutting the rafters. The first rafter as a guide. Okay, I know I went over this once before on my quick and easy rafter build video, but I'll do it again. I'm doing a 412. I want to use the common line down here. There's my pivot point. Pull this up until it gets to 4. Once I get to 4, then I've got my area. I'm going to cut this on the chop saw instead of the skill saw. I'm going to take it up and put it on the ridge beam and then measure out where my bird's mouth will go. Okay, so I attach that up there where it goes. Get the angle right with the cut. Bring it down. I've got a board scabbed on the outside of the wall. I've lowered it down where the angle at the top is correct. And then I draw my bird's mouth. It's the easiest way for me to do it. I don't know all the math and all that stuff. Plus I don't have a calculator, so. Anyways, quick and easy way. I'll cut this out, recheck it, and then start using this as my pattern. So I got a pattern that I made. I mark them all on. I'm cutting the bird's mouth. I'll cut the angle on the miter saw for the ends. I only cut to the point of the line with the skill saw, and then I take the rest off with the Sawzall, as you can see. That way I'm not cutting into the meat of the board any more than I have to. It works out perfect. Those of you wondering, I'm not doing 2-foot like typical on rafters. I'm doing 19.2. So on your tape, if you look at a tape measure, there's a little diamond. That's 19.2, and it lays out to come out right on 8 feet. The reason I'm doing 19.2 and not 2-foot is because I'm using spruce. Even though they're thicker, it's still spruce, it's not Doug fir. So I want to give it just a little bit more wood in there in between. So we do get 4 foot of snow up here, so better safe than sorry. So you're probably wondering why I'm doing screws and nails. I'm doing screws and nails. The screw to help hold it tight into place, and the nails, but that way I just feel safer over time with expansion and contraction, with the cold and hot. The screws will at least hold it in place. So this little scaffolding is working out great. I can roll it around while I'm up here, and I can get both ends. Perfect, no ladder work. So you see me putting the log locks in there. I'm using 6-inchers. The reason is because since I cut true 2x4s, you cannot put the Simpson Strong Tie hurricane straps on these. They won't fit. But this will work just as well. It locks it in place, keeps it from moving. I've marked it out to where they're all straight with what the top is. I'll get that locked, and then I've got to cut some blocking in here and put some vent holes in it, so I'm making a cold roof, which means the insulation will be down here in the bottom, and there'll be an air circulation up on the top to help alleviate some of the moisture inside the attic space of the cabin. So I'm going to continue doing these, then I'm going to cut the blocks, put those in, and then we'll do the other side. There's one. Got a screen on it. Got a couple more to do. I can get them up at the end of the thing, then it's ready for sheeting. Well, I don't know if you can see that. The rafters are all done. They're all up. The bird blocking's all done on that side over there. I gotta put a few more bird blocking in on this side, but then it's gonna be ready to sheath. One of the things I am going to do, I don't know if I talked about it, but I got 16-foot 2x4s I'm running straight across the top every 2 feet. That's to put my ceiling wood on, and then insulation will go up here. So, but rafters are done. It's ready for sheathing on top and roofing. That's coming next. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. I'm going to end it here. It's about almost 10 o'clock at night, and it's time to call it a night. The rafters are up, as you can see. Everything's in. I've got my deck on, I've waterproofed it, I've got my 2x4s, my dimensional lumber that I picked up, the 16 footers. That'll go up in the ceiling area here in the next couple of days. And then we'll get on with it. We'll put the roofing on, get it dried in from the top. Other than that, it's coming along. Not too bad for one guy doing all this by himself and actually having to pick up some outside work on the side to do things. The one thing you will notice on it is not all my rafter 2x6s were a true 10 foot, so I've got a couple that have the tails weren't long enough to put on there, but it's okay. It's just a little cabin. The other side's all even, so there's just 3 boards there, but it's all pretty straight. Looks good. So until the next video, God bless, hugs, and stay safe.